The Monster Hunter franchise has always been very subtle about its lore and is often easy to miss, especially when battling monsters that dwarf you in size, and crafting deadlier weaponry and stronger armor sets is what makes the series so addictive. Under all that fun, however, there is a dark history, so let's delve into a few areas of the lore within this amazing franchise and shed some light on the series' darkness. The ancient civilization was once a thriving civilization made up of Wyverians and other races that thrived under an advanced technological society. Although their civilization has mysteriously disappeared, there are still many forgotten ruins and relics from the past scattered around the various areas of the world. These crumbling ruins usually contain secrets about long-forgotten weapons and vital knowledge on deadly elder dragons that threaten humanity's existence. While we know very little about them, we do know that they possessed extremely advanced technology, having created the Tower, the Cloud Viewing Fortress, and the infamous and destructive Dragonator. The sheer size of these structures, and in the case of the Dragonator, its complexity, speaks volumes about how prosperous this civilization once was, especially in comparison to the hunting communities we've come across so far in the mainline series. The society was well known for using monsters in building their massive towers, conducting experiments, and creating advanced weaponry. Their monolithic structures were made from elder dragons like Kushala Daora, but this construction and advancement would have a bloody price to pay for the ecosystem. Large numbers of the wyvern population were culled in the process, and others were imprisoned. In the modern era, blueprints and rusted gear can still be found, generally being so worn out they are not as useful as they once were, but still evidence the presence of this ancient civilization. Driven by a never-ending lust for power and technological advancement, the ancient civilization sought to create life itself. The first new life form they made was the EDW, Equal Dragon Weapon, also known as the Wyvern Machine Soldier. This was a deadly bioweapon that required 30 mature dragons to be slain in order to create just one gigantic entity. These blood-soaked machines boasted the might equal to any living elder dragon, and they were also designed to constantly hunt and seek out new prey, and this would have a massive effect on the ecosystem. The more blood they shed, the longer these hideous reanimated corpses would live. The balance of nature was already at a breaking point before the Forbidden Act experiments, but these biological monstrosities absolutely shattered that balance. As a result of this monstrosity's creation, the dragons grew increasingly disgusted by their kind being treated like cattle by the ancient civilization, and this would lead to them plotting their revenge. This may be a surprise to some players, but elder dragons are actually extremely smart in comparison to other monsters in the series. These monsters are sentient beings that can bring about the destruction of whole cities or empires if they choose to. However, due to the ancient civilization's mass slaughter of various elder dragons and flying wyverns, these godlike beings decided to punish the very civilization that once hunted them by destroying humanity itself. Soon a long and bloody war between man and dragon spread around the world, leaving only death and destruction. Not a whole lot is known about this conflict, but it was said to be so devastating it completely eradicated the ancient civilization, with only a few Wyverians left in the Monster Hunter world as we see in the mainline games. And this also nearly brought about the extinction of the very dragons that fought to break away from their suffering. Humanity would then go on to rebuild itself from the ashes, but the hunters of today know very little about their world's tragic past. Instead, they learn through the various references and ancient texts left behind, and these relics often depict teachings about the various elder dragons that inhabit the land and the surviving weaponry like the Dragonator, which is used in a responsible way now to make sure that it does not upset the natural balance of the world. It is kind of sad to think that the prior humanity before the collapse of the ancient civilization was actually kind of the bad guy, having enslaved dragons just for the sake of becoming more powerful and advancing their technologies. Saving the big bad Elder Dragon King himself for last, we have Fatalis. While most of the horrific experiments and technological exploits committed by the ancient civilization have long been forgotten, this Elder Dragon is said to remember humanity's dark history. Known as the evil dragon, Fatalis bears a strong hatred towards human life and is driven by the blood-soaked past of its fallen brethren. In a short period of time, Fatalis is said to be able to bring about mass destruction of any civilization it wishes to destroy, also killing any wyverns that may stand in its way. To make matters worse, Fatalis also copied the horrific experiments committed by the ancient civilization by using human corpses, melting the bodies onto its own so it could wear their carcasses like the ancient civilization once wore its kin. We can even see this as one of its pin attacks in Monster Hunter World, which was a nice nod to the stories told about the beast prior to its world debut. Even in death, this monster's hatred lives on, as it is said to curse the hunter that uses its armor, invoking nightmares and memories so scary that the user could die. And the armor's spirit is also said to eventually take control of the user if they didn't die from the nightmares and memories. You know the hatred is powerful when the very armor that is said to provide you protection is working against you in the background, and it just goes to show how haunted Fatalis' spirit is after witnessing all the atrocities all those centuries ago. And with that said guys, that does bring us to the end of this video. Let me know down below if you learned anything new, and if you didn't, be sure to share some of your own Monster Hunter lore, and I look forward to reading all of your comments. As always, a like would be extremely appreciated if you did enjoy. It does help out the channel a ton. And be sure to subscribe for a lot more Monster Hunter content. Don't forget to join our Discord, link is at the top of the description. Lots of awesome other hunters in there, and we would love to have you with us. And yeah guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.